Welcome and good morning. This morning, as we salute our American flag, remember those men and women who have fought for our freedom during wartime and protected us during peacetime. Please stand. The United States Marine Corps will now present the colors.
Raise it.
With respect for our flag, put your hand over your heart as our kindergarten recites our Pledge of Allegiance, followed by My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Who is a veteran? A veteran is a man or a woman who has served in the armed forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, in times of peace and or in times of war.
The band, Madison Rising, brings great rock and roll to the forefront of popular culture. Lead vocalist Dave Bray is a U.S. Navy veteran, and their rock version of the Star Spangled Banner, which you're about to see, has had rave reviews and over 2.5 million hits on YouTube. I think after you watch it today, there may be another 500 hits.
Oh,
And now we're pleased to welcome back to the stage Mrs. Sharon Lasher to sing God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood, accompanied by Mrs. Pam Momeyer on piano.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family by my side, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there's a pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Good morning. The Oak Hill Players would like to begin our portion of the program with a tribute to our veterans, a musical tribute to our veterans, for all those who sacrificed so much for us. The soloists with the Oak Hill Players are Victoria Momeyer on recorder and Julie Sumsky on violin. We will follow that with a chorus performance of America the Free. It is an original composition in which the composer, Phyllis Wolfe White, incorporates the beloved song, America the Beautiful, in her composition. And Mrs. Pamela Momeyer will accompany the chorus on the piano.
Sometimes our brave servicemen and women endure the ultimate sacrifice. They accepted the possibility of the job they have chosen. In a final tribute to these fallen heroes, Angel flights are the United States Air Force C-130 planes used to fly home our fallen soldiers. Angel Flight is their call sign. Angel flights have top priority in U.S. airspace to any other standard military flight. The Angel flare pattern is well known in military circles. Dozens of flares are ejected from various points on the large C-130 planes to protect the slow, sluggish planes from being hit by heat-seeking missiles. Please watch this video and listen to the song Angel Flight, which was written by Darden Smith and Radney Foster. It is sung by Radley Foster and Darius Rucker. Pay attention to the flares that create an image of an angel.
All I ever wanted to do was fly, leave this world and live in the sky. I left the C-130 out of Fort Worth town. I go up some days I don't wanna come down. Well, I fly that plane, call the angel flight. Come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the angel flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. I love my family and I love this land, but tonight this flight's for another. We do what we do 'cause we heard the call. Someday we'll believe it all. I fly that plane, call the angel flight. Come on, brother, you're with me tonight. Brother, you're with me tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the angel flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Feels kinda like church in here tonight. It don't matter where we touch down. On the angel flight is sacred ground. Well, I fly that plane, call the angel flight. Gotta be riding with us tonight. Between heaven and earth, you're never alone. On the angel flight, come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home. Come on, brother, I'm taking you home.
As a school, we are tasked in teaching our children the value of our military, the history that surrounds it, the sacrifices that have been made for our freedom, and to honor those who so bravely served. Please listen and look at a compilation of our Veterans Day programs here at Oak Hill Academy over the last many years. Please enjoy 7th grader Matthew Kim on cello, Mrs. Pam Momeyer on piano.
Wreaths Across America's motto is to remember the fallen and sacrifice of many, honor those who serve and their families with support, teach the next generation the value of freedom, and inspire in them a commitment to preserve it.
Oak Hill Academy's devotion to our veterans embodies the sentiments of Wreaths Across America. Since the events on September 11th, where Oak Hill Academy, the Township of Middletown, and our surrounding communities were also affected, we decided to honor our veterans for the sacrifices they make for us. We have remembered those veterans who paid the ultimate sacrifice and their Gold Star families. We thank and recognize our veterans who protect our freedom on a daily basis. We support the Blue Star families as their loved ones are currently serving in the military.
And finally, as a school, it is our mission to teach our students, our next generation, about the value of freedom and how it came about. Since 2001, Oak Hill Academy's Veterans Day programs are the biggest assembly of the year, usually 2 hours long and involving over 100 students each year. This yearly event has taught our students so much surrounding the history of Veterans Day and the military, the appreciation and gratitude for our veterans and the sacrifices they and their families have endured, and finally, promoting patriotism.
Our assemblies have included analyzing all world wars and conflicts, the history of women in the military, and the importance of ministry in the military, learning about the history of the flag, the background of the Pledge of Allegiance, the history of the Star-Spangled Banner, and the story of TAPS, identifying the war monuments and memorials, exploring the interesting history of the Tomb of the Unknown and the Old Guard.
Explaining the history of the draft, reading letters from servicemen, celebrating Victory over Europe Day and Victory over Japan Day, and what POWMIA stood for, supporting hope for the warriors and the intrepid fallen heroes, learning of the value of the military and service dogs.
Describing the bravery of the Sullivan brothers, the Tuskegee Airmen and the Navajo Code Talkers, and the 4 chaplains. Explaining the Ghost Army of World War II and the Christmas Truce of 1914. Showing the angel flights and their contrails of clouds, watching the lone Marines stand guard during the rolling thunder.
Remembering our Gold Star families in our hearts and praying for our Blue Star families' loved ones, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Armistice Day, bringing the story of In Flanders Field to all, and finally, explaining and embracing the mission of Wreaths Across America.
There is a brotherhood that develops between soldiers, regardless of their ages, rank, and branch of service. The active service members are carrying on the tradition of the older veterans in defending their country, as we just saw in the short commercial. Here at Oak Hill, we have a teacher's son beginning his journey. Mrs. Cottrell's 19-year-old son, Ryan, is a Marine and just graduated from the Marine Recon, which is reconnaissance course out in San Diego. It's quite an accomplishment since only 20% of the original group stayed the course through this 8-month training. Ryan was trained in water survival, rescue, navigation of inflatables, night maneuvers, and clandestine operations. Ryan was one of 32 men who will enter the next phase at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. There are only 1,000 Marine Recon soldiers in the world. The Marine Corps Recon is equivalent to the Navy SEALs. We wish Ryan Cottrell the best to keep him safe and thank him for his devotion to our country and willingness to protect all of us. We thank his mom, his 2 sisters, and their brother for their sacrifice and support. We'd now like to present Mrs. Cottrell, her daughter Erin, a Blue Star service flag signifying Lance Corporal Ryan Cottrell's service to his country. Godspeed. Please welcome to the stage Headmaster Joseph A. Pacelli, U.S. Army veteran.
Thank you, Ms. Murray. And what a beautiful day we have today. It's just gorgeous. Welcome students, parents, faculty, staff, friends, Oak Hill Academy trustees, Ms. Lucille Flynn, Mr. Rick Cancelosi, past board member, the Honorable Louis Locascio. We have also with us today freeholder Jerry Schaffenberger from the Middletown Township Committee, Ms. Pat Snell, and Mr. Tony Perry. Gold Star family, Marion and Dennis Zielinski. Welcome to Wreaths Across America. We're so proud to have you. We're here today because of you. Welcome to the founder of the Wreaths Across America, Morrill Worcester, his wife and executive director Karen Worcester, Mr. Wayne Hansen, chairman of the board, and his wife Ann Hansen, an advisory board member. And the Grand Marshal of the convoy, Mrs. Becky Christmas, national president of the American Gold Star Mothers. We're honored that Oak Hill Academy has been chosen as a convoy to stop as you head down to Arlington Cemetery to place 400,000 wreaths on all the veterans' graves.
Eighth grader Miles Gorski, representing his parents Len and Lauren, will speak about his grandfather, Chester Gorski, U.S. Army, 1949 to 1953. Miles Gorski.
Good morning. I am Miles Patrick Gorski, the youngest grandson of Chester Joseph Gorski. He was an ex-prisoner of war during the Korean War. My grandfather enlisted in the Army in October 1949 and was deployed to North Korea. After landing in North Korea, he was captured by the Chinese Reds and was held prisoner from November 29, 1950 to September 19, 1953. During this time, my grandfather would receive letters from his mother almost weekly letting him know about things that were going on at home. She kept him informed of the little things going on between his younger brother and sister fighting at work, and wrote to him about his brother working. This helped him keep his mind positive. Many soldiers don't talk about their experiences. He did tell me that every day he ate rice with a small spoon, which he still kept and proudly showed me, and that every night he slept on dirt. It couldn't be easy doing these things, but this shows me the courage and bravery my grandfather needed to have to stay alive during his time of capture. My grandfather didn't tell me many stories about his time in the Army, but what I know is that he was a brave, courageous, and proud American. Whenever there was a reunion for the Korean War, he and my grandmother would go, whether it was in Hawaii, Tennessee, or Kentucky. He proudly wore his ex-prisoner of war veteran hat and stood tall. My grandfather wasn't much for celebrating events, but one thing he loved most was attending this Veterans Day Assembly at Oak Hill Academy with me every year for the last 9 years. Unfortunately, this year, my last year at Oak Hill, he couldn't be here with me since he passed away in June, but if he was here, he would proudly stand when the Army song played. Patriotism means many different things to everyone, whether you hang an American flag, wear red, white, and blue, or serve in the military. For me, being patriotic means honoring my grandfather by being brave, courageous, and proud as I stand here today telling you my grandfather's story. Please turn your attention to this video of my grandfather of when he returned as a hero to his hometown, Keansburg. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Miles, for that moving tribute to your real-life American hero, your grandfather.
We're pleased to have two sisters, 5th grader Annabelle Sperano and 3rd grader Andy Sperano, perform a duet on one piano, Vandel's Winter Toccata for Two. music and military are connected. It is not only connected to the military, but music has significance since everyone in the world lives with some form of music. Bagpipes are traditionally associated with formal ceremonies. Bagpipes are played at parades and memorial services. Brother Frank Byrne, president of Christian Brothers Academy, has been playing the bagpipes for over 24 years, has introduced this wonderful instrument to the boys at CBA. We're pleased to have the CBA Pipe Band here today. by Regina Specker, speaks of a soldier going to and coming back from the war. It also has a meaning of change, acceptance, and hope. Please listen to fourth grader Lulu Mitchell as she sings The Call, accompanied by Mrs. Momeyer.
It started out as a feeling, which then turned into a hope, which then turned into a quiet thought, which then turned into a quiet word. Then that word grew louder and louder, till there was a battle cry. You'll come back when they call you. No need to say goodbye. Just because everything's changing doesn't mean it's never been this way before. All you can do is try to know who your friends are as you head off to the war. Pick a star on the dark horizon and follow the light. You'll come back when it's over. No need to say goodbye. You'll come back when it's over. No need to say goodbye. Now we're back to the beginning. It's just a feeling and no one knows yet. But just because they can feel it too doesn't mean that you have to forget. Let your memories grow stronger and stronger till they're before your eyes. You'll come back when they call you. No need to say goodbye. You'll come back when they call you. No need to say goodbye.
I'm happy to introduce the brass quartet of our band teacher, Mrs. Janet Bender, Mr. Tom Bender, Mrs. Nancy Dipness, and Mr. Greg Bender, all professional musicians. They will be accompanied by Pamela Momeyer. They will be playing the Armed Forces Medley, which is a song of the 5 branches of the service. The caisson songs for the Army, the Marines hymn for the Marines, Semper Paratus for the Coast Guard, Anchors Away for the Navy, and Off We Go into the Wild Blue Yonder for the Air Force. We'd like to have all the veterans and servicemen and women in the audience to stand when their song representing the military branch is being played. The Army. The Marines. Navy. The Air Force. The Coast Guard.
In the words of Mark Twain, in the beginning of change, the patriot is a scarce man, brave, hated, and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Please welcome our dancers, choreographed by Lauren Bonfiglio, Madison Cole, and Cameron Mercatante, under the direction of Mrs. Bridget DeVivo. They will be performing to Jackson Brown's I Am a Patriot. Please welcome back to the stage Mr. Joseph Pacelli, U.S. Army veteran.
I salute our veterans. As we close today, on Veterans Day, we honor those patriots who have been so bravely served our country. Many veterans do not see themselves as heroes, yet they are. Many of them bear the wounds and scars of heroism, simply and honorably. And some of those scars are unseen and hidden away. America is founded on the principles of freedom, justice, and liberty for all. Our nation's soldiers serve every day to protect our country and its ideals. Remember those who sacrifice their lives every moment to achieve peace and democracy. In the words of President John F. Kennedy, let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. Our veterans embody this sentiment.
As we conclude, we will now have the playing of taps. I'll ask you to remain in silence. Thank you all for coming.